Hi, Joanne Nielsen, your Executive Director at the Fraser Valley Conservancy. I'm coming to you today from our beautiful Three Creeks property here in the McKee neighborhood on the slopes of Sumas Mountain in Abbotsford. The reason I wanted to reach out to you today, because I'm not sure if you're aware or not, but the City of Abbotsford is in the process of voting on a plan for how the McKee neighborhood will be developed in the future. Currently, it's still large amounts of intact forest, like what we have here, as well as pockets of development throughout. The McKee Neighbourhood Plan will guide how the development will process will continue and proceed in the next sort of 20 years to come as they build out the whole sort of slope of the McKee neighbourhood. The Fraser Valley Conservancy has been involved in this planning process for about the past 5 years. Originally, it was really looked at from a landscape level. Everybody acknowledged, and there was a lot of research put into it, the fact that we've got lots of wildlife up here. There's lots of intact, functioning forests, and the plan has always been to develop balancing the needs of nature in the process. But as things sort of moved along, it became apparent that once you laid in the infrastructure that's going to be required, the developments, and to where the limited areas are that development can happen, that each layer that got added on piece by piece has chipped away at the ability to balance those needs of nature in this planning process. And for that reason, the Conservancy feels strongly that this plan as proposed is not sustainable for the environment and is certainly not balancing the needs of nature and acknowledging how much this nature on this mountain is contributing to the overall health and sustainability of the community. We now recognize so much more clearly how the importance of having intact forests, soil, the ability for these mountainside habitats to absorb water during storm events. And when you put in a development, you now have to pipe and channel all that water and engineer its way off the mountain so it ends up becoming a flashier system down below. And all of us saw firsthand what happened last November when our lowlands were inundated with more water than they could handle. And I feel that hillside developments like this need to put a bigger focus on how they are going to use the natural environment and some more innovative ways of managing water so that we're not having a downstream impact on the residents below. They've identified 7 habitat hubs. So these are intended to be areas of refugia for the wildlife to be able to exist and persist on the mountain. One of the hubs is this property here, our Three Creeks property. But of all the hubs, it's the only one that actually has protection and designation in the plan as saying it will never be developed, it will never have trail networks, it is intended for wildlife. Furthermore, for the hubs to work, you can't be an island and exist, so you need to have your connected corridors, and there's certainly in the overall plan of things, there's these wildlife corridors that will connect the hubs and will enable the wildlife to move about on the mountain. But again, once you layer on those infrastructure pieces, the corridors have become more disconnected, they've become smaller, they've become limited to the non-developable areas, and we just don't feel that that's a balanced approach. And if you feel strongly or even mildly about this plan for the McKee neighborhood, I encourage you to go to our website where you can find more information. Now is your only chance to have your say on this plan after it's been open to public hearing on Monday. Council does not take any more input from the community on it. So this is your one and only chance. So I encourage you, if you have something to say, now is the time you have to say it. So thank you very much and have a good day.